Do we want to just jump into Flex Friday? I think it's time for Flex Friday. So the deal is, if you submitted a game for Flex Friday, we can look through your game, but your game won't be on the top 5 that we're gonna vote for if you're not actually here in person, because you have to be here in person to collect the prize, to claim it. That's the deal. Okay, well, regardless, let's go look at Kilbuzz's game. Alright, so d4, d5. Bishop f4, e6. Knight to f3, bishop to d6. Bishop g3. Hello, hello. I like Nemo fish. That would be longer than 15 minutes. Hey, this candidate's recap lasted a whole, I don't even know how long. Lasted the whole 20 minutes. That's probably better. Like, it was only 20 minutes versus being 2 hours for one game, okay? Alright, this is actually a London. I'm already very disappointed that you play a London, but I guess that's fine. Wait, can I just have it on replay? Does this go automatically? Oh my gosh. We can just sit here and have the computer do the work. Okay? I don't know. Wait. Why are we, what? Why are we taking with the king? Why are we taking with the king, buddy? If you take with the bishop, you can castle and then get your rook out a little earlier. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. I can't really criticize you. Why are we not taking this free pawn? Okay, well, regardless, knight takes d4, rook takes e4, knight to b5, bishop takes b5. Okay, we get a free knight. We like that. We like that. Bishop c4 check. Ooh! Wait, what? How? Why did you decide that of all the moves you could play in this position, it was going to be bishop to g8? How? Why? Huh? What? I understand it's a bait for the rook, but like we're checkmating. I mean, we're not checkmating, but it's not a smother mate because he can take with the king. So that doesn't make sense. But he didn't isn't a valid reason. Just because he didn't doesn't mean that what you did is correct, right? That's also true, yeah. Prove him wrong then. Well, obviously, rook takes g8 is a mate in one. But like king takes g8 and you just gave back your bishop. I can't even tell. Was this a fail submission or a flex submission? I literally can't even tell. It's a flex? If it's a win, it's a flex? I don't know if that's how this works. I guess we're flexing our opponent's mistake. Yeah, we tricked him with such a bad move. You know what? You're right. Okay, this is a flex. I mean, in the future, you can just play knight f7 and if he takes, this is like a more surefire way to win. And if he doesn't take and plays king to g8, then you could do this thing where you like bother him a bunch. I don't even know. This looks like a checkmate. See, you have a checkmate, but I guess you're 600. So it's gonna be kind of hard for you to figure that out. But it's fun. You know what? Bishop g8, amazing move. This is being marked down as a flex. Night before, I don't see you in the chat, so we're gonna skip you and go to neutral observer because I know he's in chat. Here, bishop to e7, bishop to e3, bishop to e6, queen to d2, short castles, bishop to d3, b5, g4, b4, knight to e2, pawn to a5. So far, so good. I mean, for a 1500 game, this is looking really good. It's like a Najdorf English attack where the opponent has delayed castling, but black knows what he's got to do, where white pushes on the king side, black is pushing on the queen side. I mean, so far, so good. This is, like, pretty solid. So g5, knight e8, we're pushing pawns, you know. Knight to g3, knight to d7. Yeah, your face. h4, knight to c5. Yeah, I would just push the pawn. I mean, his knight's gonna be, like, kind of bad. And you're not really ever afraid of him taking this because you have a bunch of rook b8 ideas. And d5. Honestly, d5 is pretty important because you get that with the tempo. So I don't really know if you're afraid of that. This just looks kind of solid. But once again, maybe now you can play knight c5. I don't see a direct problem with knight c5. But it just gets his knight out of this little corner where it could have been potentially really bad. Okay, so knight to f5, c4, knight takes e7, queen takes e7, bishop e2. rook to d8, queen c1, b3, a takes, rook to a5, b takes c2, rook takes e5, queen b4 check, bishop to d2, huh? Rook takes is a really freaking good move. Yeah, that's a really good move. That's a super good move. Good job, buddy. But yeah, I mean, he can't play queen takes d2 because you're promoted to another queen. So this tactic is super cool. But this is a really cool game. Good job, buddy. Happy for ya. Okay, regardless. This is Victor against Freestyler. So knight c6, d takes e5, d takes e5, bishop to d3, bishop e6, castles g6, bishop g5. If you already have like one open diagonal for your bishop, it's probably a moot point to play g6, bishop g7 because then you're putting your bishop behind a pawn and you just don't need to do that. Right, like you can already put your bishop anywhere on this diagonal and it's going to have squares to go to. Playing g6 just doesn't make that much sense. But that's fine. Bishop g5, bishop g7, queen d2. Also, you're kind of weakening your king structure by creating a fianchetto for him and he can come attack your bishop. So that's another reason why you might not want to play something like that. Okay, rook fd1, knight to d4, knight takes, knight e2, queen takes b2, rook d to b1, queen to a3, rook takes b7. Yeah, you better be writing down the notes. Okay, so bishop takes a2, rook to b2, bishop e6, h3. Wow, why is my voice dying? Bishop to d7, queen to e3, bishop c6, rook 7 to b4, a5. All right, we have a pass pawn. Are we gonna push it? a4, rook b4, a3, rook 2, b3, a2. Oh my gosh. We promote our queen and we take the rook. Why does this promotion tactic look so similar to the one that, what's his face? Neutral Observer did. That's pretty cool. I mean, I would say in terms of gameplay, your opponent just decided that this pawn is like, you know, not threatening. But this end of the game tactic is pretty cool. I really like that. You did a good job on this game. You really did. It's a really nice win. It's a really well played game. You played super solid against somebody who is like 600 points higher rated than you. Okay, well, like 500 points higher rated than you. I can't quite count, but... Alright, Florin, this is an 11 move game. Let's see how this one turns out. e4, d5, e5, f6. What? What is this? Okay. Alright. I have a feeling I already know how this game's gonna go. Well, this guy is almost 1,000 and just blunders his rook like this. And we also just don't take it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Knight takes d4. Okay, and we don't want to play mating 1. Alright, queen takes d4. Okay, and now we find the mating 1. Is this submitted as a flex? It's a great move. I mean... I don't know if this counts as a flex. I mean, we can let chat decide. Do you guys think this is a flex or an F? You can't deny that's a fine move. I really can't. But it's also like, if I was a flex, one player's flex is another player's fail. You're also not wrong about that. Says great move equals flex. Alright. It's been marked down as a flex. Okay, so, there are no games in fail yet. But we'll see, we'll see. We have more flexes than Fs. It's true. Our standards are really dropped since last. Yeah, I was savage last week. This week I'm just like, well, whatever. Everything is fine. Alright, so, this is... Alright, so you're white. e4, e5, bishop c4, bishop c5, d3, queen h4. Oh no. Bishop e3. You actually surprisingly still have g3 here. And you only lose like a pawn. But knight f3 is definitely not the way to play. Yeah, this is a fail. That is a very big fail. Well, he is definitely in contest for the $25. It was 3 AM. I don't know if that's an excuse. Look, if Ali Reza can play 200 games of Hyperbullet against Danya at like 2 AM, you can play a singular game against a 1500 at 3 AM. I have faith in you. I do. I really do. Okay, that's my bad. Alright, here's Che Pulse's game. Okay, so e4, g6. Knight f3, bishop g7, d4, d6, bishop d3, knight to f6, bishop e3, castles, castles, c6, rook q1, b6, c3, bishop g4, and knight b to d2. Alright, Chapels is playing pretty good chess. And at this point, I can't even be surprised about that anymore. Chapels just seems to always play good chess these days. I mean, you are playing really good chess. Just take the fucking compliment. Like, if you don't take the compliment, I'm gonna fuck you. C5, h3, bishop takes, knight takes, c takes d4. That was nice, Nemo. Yeah, that was nice, Nemo. I told him to take a compliment. Rook takes c8, queen takes c8, a3, knight takes d3. Alright, so far so good. I mean, it's been a very, very chill game so far. Like, you have symmetrical pawn. Well, not like symmetrical in the sense that they look exactly the same, but you have symmetrical in terms of, hey, all the pawns are like facing each other, which is what I would describe as symmetrical. And when you have pawn structures like this, the position is usually just very static. So I'm like pretty happy with it. G takes e6, knight takes e4, rook to e2, f takes e6. Okay. I would probably have taken like here first before I played rook e2. Just because then you don't lose the pawn and then you don't have to go through the effort of going knight g5 and then trying to get the e pawn, but that's fine. Okay, and he just blunders this knight apparently. Oh, because he thinks he has queen d1, rook, queen takes e2, but then you have queen takes e6, and then we're going for the real smothered mate. Okay, watch very closely, Killbuzz. This is how smothered mates actually work. You don't just toss a random piece on g8 and hope your opponent captures it. You do this thing with knight to f7, knight to h6 check, king to h8, and then you have a queen, and then you go queen to g8, and then because the knight is protecting the queen, and he's actually forced to take it, because it's not a bishop. He can't play king takes g8. So when he plays rook takes g8, now you have knight to f7. I fucking hate it here. That's how the actual smothered mate works. No, I'm absolutely joking, Killbuzz. It's fine. It's okay. Chapels, your game was just like the better version of Killbuzz's game. The brilliant move was the queen sack, by the way. I believe that. I believe that. But this is a really cool game. This was really, really, really nice. I haven't seen a smothered mate done properly yet today, so this is the none-fail version. Okay, now we're actually back to Trix's game. Alright, Trix. Knight c3, knight c6, bishop e2, g6. Okay, this is like a very normal Sicilian dragon, where they play bishop to e2, so it's a little bit more chill. Then h3, bishop to d7. Also, I'm just gonna make sure that this is bishop h6, knight to e5, castles, rook c3, b takes. No league today, no, unfortunately. Okay, knight takes e4, queen to f4, knight takes c3, bishop d3. Whoa, what's going on? That seems like a really bad move for her to play. Because you have this. The rook takes knight is good. This is like a very common idea in positions where you're able to get lots of compensation. Because you get the e-pawn and then you also get the c-pawn. So you would get two pawns for your exchange, which is actually like basically exactly equal, which is nice. But bishop d3 by her is a really big blunder because yeah, if you take, then there's knight to e2, which wins the queen. So knight e2 check, here check. All right, here. I mean, this is just really well played. You're up like material and you create discovered attacks and then you win even more material. Okay, what? Why did we go for queen to e3? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. You could have played anything else. Could have saved your knight. No. I guess you didn't want rook to f7, but I guess you have bishop f5 here. So, did not have to play that. Queen to e3. But that's okay. I mean, now it's a little less okay. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. He blocked with rook g3? Oh my gosh. He fucked up. He actually super fucked up. Okay, nice. That was actually a really good game. I mean, that's a flex right there, right? That's like a flex. You played well against somebody who's a little higher rated than me. They're a streamer. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, we'll add that to like the flex collection. Wait, let me take a look at how many we have currently. So we have Trix's game, Chapul's game. Victor's was a flex, and so was Neutral Observer. Was Florin a flex? I can't remember this now. I need to like mark this down. Oh, yeah, this was like a flex because your opponent played so bad. All right, you know what? We currently already have 5 flexes, so that means we need to kick somebody's flex out. So we have Prix, Chapul's, Florin, Victor, Neutral Observer. Oh no, that's perfect. That's fine. We have 5. All right, we'll look at Trap's game. E4, C4, E5, knight C3, knight F6, G3, D5. C takes D5, knight takes D5, bishop G2. Why are people still so invested? C takes D4, bishop D6, knight E2, knight D7, rook B8, bishop B2. D5, knight to F6, knight to D4, bishop D7, queen C8, bishop H3, bishop H1, queen D8. Okay, this is not looking very good. How did we end up giving them the entirety of the center? Oh, yeah, so like, that's not how you well, I guess you can play the English this way, but I usually play knight to b6, and then I agree, Trix, I 100% agree, but people are just assholes online no matter what you do. So, then you want to play knight to c6. Bishop c5, e3 castles, e takes, c takes, bishop d6, knight e2, knight d7, rook to b8, bishop b2, b6, queen a4. Yeah, so your center is kind of collapsed, which really is a big bummer. And then when your center collapses, obviously what happens is that you get all these problems where like your opponent's pieces are extremely aggressive. And then that really sucks, but that's okay. It seems like you still managed to play, you managed to find this rook to g4 idea, which is really good. Because now like you're threatening the rook. So that's a really cool tactic. Look at that. Wow. Nice. I mean, rook g4 is such a good idea. Holy. That's a flex. That's a really big flex. Finding a rook to g4 is a huge flex. Wait, what's your feeder? What's your rating, I guess? You're 796? What? I mean, rook takes g4 doesn't seem like a tactic for a 796. That seems like way higher than 796. But you did so well! That's a big flex. Okay. We're gonna kick out... We gotta kick out somebody's game. I think we're gonna kick out Florin's game, because that was the least of the flexes. So goodbye to Florin's game. But we now have Chapul's, Traps, Prix's, Neutral Observers, and Victor's. So we have 5. Alright, David. Debated again. Who are you? What's your Twitch username? This is a fail submission? Okay. You have to make the library public to share? Okay. So for anybody who is struggling with that, feel free to change it and then I'll take a look. Alright, so knight c3, bishop to e6, knight to f3, d takes c4, e4, f5. Oh, you're actually rated 700, 900 depending on the day. Okay, well so far I'm not seeing that because I don't know what knight c6 is, and I especially don't know what bishop e6 is. One of the first rules of chess is that you don't want to be putting your bishop like as a pawn, right? Like if you can use a pawn to do a bishop's job, then use your goddamn pawn to do that bishop's job. Like you can just do that. You don't gotta do anything else for it. Okay, so queen here, pawn there, pawn to fc2, queen takes. Wow. This got crazy really quick. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. So this is fine. This looks very suspicious. You're getting checkmated. I would not swap with the queens. Like, if your opponent is checkmating you, they should not be swapping off queens, right? So queen to a4, queen to d4, knight to b5, queen to e5, bishop to e3, long castles. So you got king to b8, g takes f3, queen takes b2, rook to d1, c3, queen to b3, c2. Oh my gosh, there's like knight takes c6 and checkmate, but that's fine. Rook c1, queen takes. Rook here, knight here, takes, rook takes. Oh my god. I mean, this game is so bad. Like, this is...
Pikachu. My flex Nemo. Last one. Smile.
This is so bad. Ah! Like, my eyes can't even conceptualize looking at this game. The eval bar did more squats than I have ever done in my life. Oh my gosh. I'm so scared to look at the eval graph. That's pretty bad, buddy. That's pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't like great to start with, but from completely winning to completely losing. A lot of things were really bad in this game, so I can't even like fault you that much for it. Like, it was just bad from start to finish, but wow. Yeah, I mean, queen takes c1 was a really good move, but how did we go from being like a whole rook up to like losing the game? Also, if you ever are worried about getting checkmated, just take and like convert. You're up 2 minor pieces. 2! I don't even know how you came up with queen takes c1. Queen takes c1 was a really good move, but the rest of it was like a downhill disaster. Well, I think this game is getting submitted to fails. I think that's what it's gonna be. Your mom is a big fail. Okay, so next up we have... Ant said that he made his game public. Alright, so e4, c6, knight f3, d5, knight c3. Okay, so this is like some mainline Caro stuff. h3, bishop h5, knight g3, bishop g6, h4, h6, knight e5, bishop h7, queen h5, g6, bishop c4, queen e2, bishop g7, knight takes, queen takes. Oh wow. Wait, this game's really cool. I mean, it looks so simple, but you really found like some good tactics. I don't even know how you play this opening, so like it just looks like you found some really good tactics. You went for a checkmate. Your opponent was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna get checkmated. You went for bishop c4, threatening to checkmate. They were like, okay, I'm not gonna get checkmated. And you played queen e2. And then you find knight takes f7, which removes the defender. So then you have queen to e6 and then queen to f7 checkmate. I think I'm gonna remove Prix's, not because he didn't play a good game, but because his game was like mid-tier above, maybe mid and above level of like good. It was a well-played game, but in terms of like spiciness, in terms of like exciting tactics, there wasn't that much of it. His opponent just played a lot of really bad moves, and then even in the middle, he wasn't completely winning. So because of that, we're gonna remove Trix's game from the submissions. But that's okay. I think Trix won best game last week, so you know, can't win every single Flex Friday. Let's go back to look at Metz's game actually, because Metz showed up, so I don't forget. All right, so for this game, oh my gosh, wait a minute. This is a 6-move game, and it's got fails on it. Okay, this is a fail submission. All right, Metz. d4, knight c6, e4, e5. Bro, he said that... Oh, submitting this game from the day I created your chess.com account. So it's like one of his very first games on chess.com. Bishop c4, knight takes d4, knight to f3, knight takes f3, queen takes f3, pawn to b6, queen takes f7. I mean... We've all been there at some point in our life, you know? Happens to all of us at least once. There's like a 2005 game of mine where I did this. It happens, it happens. I've been here when I was 5. I have a game in the database of like this actually from when I was 5. It's pretty crazy. It's actually really insane that I genuinely have a game like this from when I was 5. But yeah, we've all been here before, so that's going on as a fail. Not bad. So we have 3 fails, 5 flexes, which means we're still hunting for more. Okay. This is Joffrey's game, and Joffrey, you should be taking here with the B pawn. This is just Scotch theory. Wait, no, this is not a Scotch. Oh, it's a Petroff. Sorry, my bad. They're playing the Petroff. Ignore what I said. I just literally, like, missed it. Oh my goodness, the Stafford Gambit, yeah. Dude, I don't even know. Like, Scotch theory, but not a Scotch. Lol. Haven't played chess in 3 weeks, by the way. Been playing poker. Okay, let's see how this works. So I like Joffrey's way of playing. He gets really aggressive sometimes, and this is like obviously a blunder because you have bishop to h2, which is awesome. So king takes, queen takes d5, bishop to f3, queen to d6 check. I mean, we're just up a queen. This has to be a smooth win, right? Whoa! We bluffed it. Queen to h6 deserves a double exclamation mark. Instead of playing queen f7, queen h7, queen h3, we just go for queen h6 in one go. It's one move faster. Exactly. It just is a move faster. Yeah, Joffrey doesn't take detours in life. He's got it all figured out. That was the plan, then you forgot? Yeah, it's fine. It happens. Which is totally okay. Look, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And if it's this, you gotta do it. That being said, I don't think this game quite earns a rank on our flexes list for today. 3 brilliant moves at a Botez Gambit. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you played really well, but some of the other games in today's list have... Okay, so now we have Fowetty. Who are you, Fowetty? 649 rated. We're going for a Petroff. Okay, so castles d6, d3, bishop e6, d knight d5, long castles, knight takes e7, bishop takes, bishop to b5, a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, bishop takes, a takes, knight d4, knight g5, d5. Wait, what? How did we already end up a queen? I like missed something. What? Oh my gosh, your opponent just didn't like bother? Your opponent is just losing every single piece he has. I mean, that's valid, but I don't think it's gonna get any flexes or fails. It just looks like your opponent deserves a fail. Like, your opponent just blundered a queen. Like, sure, you played a totally fine game, but just proud of no mistakes. Okay, I accept that. I mean, you did pretty good. You did really good. Like, you didn't make any big mistakes, and sometimes that's all you really need in chess is to not make any big mistakes. Alright, on to Kako's game. d4, knight g6. This is a 1200 versus an 1800. Somehow, I feel like somebody here is a little lower rated. The knight d3. Whoa, this is a 960. Well, I guess we're analyzing a 960 game. I mean, it's not like I really know theory in this or anything. But, okay, we'll just take a look. Wait, do engines work for 960? They do, apparently. Yeah, apparently engines just work totally fine for 960. I don't know, I thought that there might be some difference. I think... Can we not play bishop b6 here? I guess there's c5. Okay, queen h4. Bishop c3. Bishop b6. Okay, so there's queen takes c4 here, which we missed a free pawn. And short castle. Okay, this looks a little scary. It looks like your queen might actually get trapped. I mean, I'm looking at the engine here. And the engine thinks your queen is gonna get trapped. But that's pretty hard to spot. Like, no one's gonna see the sequence of moves. Okay, so that's fine. Like, nobody's gonna see that. Oh no, we blunder our queen. Oh no, we actually lose our queen. Well, I guess everything's kind of bad. Like, you do have queen to g5, but even then you have bishop h4. So yeah, your queen is just like really stuck. That's awkward. Well, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's pretty cool. That's called a swindle. If you've ever seen a swindle in your life, I would say that this move is like peak swindle. Only threat in the game and it mates. Exactly. Checkmating with a king move is really cool. I think I'm gonna sub out Victor's game. Because Victor's game is kind of like the other, kind of like Prix's game. They were both really good, but there wasn't enough spice in it. Alright, let's take a look at Michael's game. Oh my gosh, this is annotated. I have lost all motivation to look at it. I don't want to read. Okay, we're not reading the thing. This is by Takahashi. Wait, are you in chat, Takahashi? Okay. Okay. Well, apparently he knows the fianchettoed Sicilian. This is not an opening I know. I don't have the mental capacity to play at my level either. It's okay, buddy. I'm spending all my energy on poker. Okay, rook a2, e takes, queen a5, b3. I have no idea what's happening in this game. What? I've never seen this opening before. Why did we play rook to a3? I understand rook a2, but why rook a3? Like, why can't we just play bishop d2? Like, I don't see why we care about him playing this at all. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure rook a3 is fine. I just don't see the point of it, because then we have to move our rook back. It just feels like we could have played a lot of things like bishop e2, or sorry, bishop e3, bishop d2. Could have gotten a lot of pieces out before. At least it looks cool, yeah. But then we have to move our rook back to a2 anyways. I also just don't think b5 is a threat, because it's not like him taking does anything. He's still pinned. Engine preferred the more natural looking move, regardless. Okay, well, I mean, this sequence of moves is pretty cool. We played knight to c6, and there's like knight to e7, and rook takes, and then there's rook to e6, which is really nice. It's clean! Queen c8, queen c3, bishop h6, going for a checkmate, so he takes that, and then e7 is really nice because you cut off the queen. And then you have bishop to d5. I mean, that's really, really cool. That's a really good, well-played game. I don't know if the rook maneuver is that much of a focus other than the piling up on the e file. Alright, so, okay. We gotta decide which one comes down. So I gotta make the executive decision to remove one of the games, replace it, get rid of them all. This is the last one. We are entering a London system. And we play h4. I like it. We're aggro. Let's go. Alright, f4. Bishop c5. Yep, it's an Irish coffee game. g4! Okay, well, we lose the pawn, so maybe it was important to defend the pawn somehow. Like, rook h3 would have been good before we play g4. Because I know sometimes we kind of get lost in the sauce by being too aggressive. But sometimes we also just want to, like... Oh, wow. This is really cool, actually. Okay, so knight takes e5. Well, I mean, we just keep throwing away pawns. But our opponent doesn't see this idea with rook takes f7, and you do see it. On after king takes, bishop f4, rook takes f4, the king is just stuck out here in the middle. That's pretty freaking cool. I mean, that's like a flex. That actually is a flex. You're making my job so difficult with all of these flexes. Gosh. London can be aggressive, yeah. I mean, we gave away a few too many pawns in the middle over here. Like, there were a couple of too many pawn throwaways. But, like, the concept with rook takes f7 is really freaking good, especially for 1100. Oh, man. Game. I think this time I do actually have to kick out Neutral Observer's game. Like, your game was really cool. You found a nice move at the end. But I think Bailey at 1100... going for this kind of attack is just super, super cool. Alright, so we have our 5 games for the flex. I'm gonna poll for 5 minutes, and you guys get to vote who had the best flex of the week. Oh gosh, it looks like Chaitballs is ahead in the polls. Oh gosh, Bailey's game is getting there. It's 13 versus 15. This is a tight. Oh no! And at the last second, Shave Balls remains in first with 15 votes. Congratulations for winning the Flex of the Week with your smothered mate. That was pretty cool. Alright, well, in that case, Smother is cooler. Congratulations, Shave Balls. You're going to get the 50 bucks. And then we still have to do our polls for worst fail. So for worst fail of the week, we're going to have Joffrey. Mostly because he was winning the entire game. He wins his opponent's queen and then decides that, hey, you know what's a really good move in this position when we're trying to go for the checkmate? He plays queen to h6 straight away. So that's why his game is on here as worst fail of the week. But he still manages to win because his opponent doesn't see it. He managed to successfully bluff. This is Dave's game. And he's here because the game evaluation is an absolute shit show. It's a mess. I don't know what happened in this game. And each time I look through it, I regret it because my eyes feel like they're burning. It's a bit of a nightmare. But hey, when you're 600, things like that happen. It's totally fine. There was one brilliant move here, but I don't know if that's quite enough. Alright, and we also have Spicy Face's game on here as a fail because he got checkmated in 5 moves. And if that's not a fail, I don't know what's a fail. And then we have Kill Buzz's game on here as a submission because he decided that he wanted to Scholar's Mate his opponent, despite the fact that he doesn't have a queen, which makes it impossibly harder to Scholar's Mate, and plays Bishop to g8 instead, which is not a check, doesn't threaten anything. It's just Bishop to g8, and his opponent plays Rook takes g8, and he gets the checkmate with Knight to f7. So that is why this game is here, because it's a fail Scholar's Mate, basically. But yeah, those are our submissions, and make sure you guys are going to go vote. Who wins worst fail of the week? Alright, I'll give you guys 2 minutes this time. 3 minutes this time. Kill Buzz 52 or Mets and Cavs. As a reminder, these guys are in contest for $25. Oh, it's 1918? 2120? Stop the count? 2121? Any last second voters? Oh my gosh, chat's doing this on purpose. Oh my god! 25 to 22? Oh god, that was intense to the last second. 3 votes at the end went to Kill Buzz. Those last second votes really affecting the outcome. So that does mean that Kill Buzz is going to be winning the worst fail of the week, and Chapals wins best flex of the week. So congratulations to the both of you. Chapals, you get $50, and Kill Buzz, you will get $25.